5th, 2015's weekly wrap-up. Released Step 10 in the Melisma course. Step 10 is pulling things together from previous lessons, taking the triplets again, taking the major pentatonic, taking some words, putting things together, but getting a little more out of the box with it, out of the box thinking, meaning what I did in this lesson was I want you to become a little freer and not just think everything's very specifically academic. Start with the concept of academics, and what I mean by that is in previous lessons I took the triplet and I showed you how the triplet worked on first, second, third, and fourth beats of the measure, and got you to apply that very strictly through a major pentatonic scale pattern, following the notes in a very consistent way. But when you're really singing and making things up, you don't do that. You start there, but you start to move things around in different ways. And so this lesson is my way of getting you to start to be creative with it and more playful with it, and reach into your own imagination for things, as well as use the techniques and topics that I'm giving you. So everything is a starting point, and then obviously from that starting point it grows into all of the wonderful creative things that any one person can come up with. And you know, if we take 10 or 15 different people and ask them to listen to a rhythm and make up something with their voice note-wise, it's going to be different. So that's what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for you to start to expand this in a creative way, so you start to make it your own, in your own special types of ways. You'll come up with all kinds of fantastic things. I just want to be the spark for that. And that is the real message of this particular lesson. It's taking what we've done previously, but it's also getting you to think a little bit out of the box. So that's what the lesson's about. It was a lot of fun to do, and there'll be more of that type of thinking coming up with various scales and rhythms and words. So that's what's happening there. Now, on the musical tip of the week, well, I always like talking about chest, mix, and head whenever I get a chance. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about chest, mix, and head. And if you've been on the site for a while and you've been going through lessons, no doubt you've got a pretty good concept of what it is. But I've got another little metaphor for you, and I thought I'd mention it here. That metaphor is this. When you're going from your chest voice into your mix, up into your head voice, I actually think of it as rooms. Like the first room is chest voice, and it's the biggest room. And there's doorways, and these doorways are going up. So I guess we're in outer space where there's no gravity. And we're going up through these doors. And as we move from our chest voice through this door and we go to the second room, that room is smaller than the first room. Then we go from that room, I'll elaborate more on this, but hang in there with me. We go from that room to a third room, up through another door, and that room is even smaller. And that room is a small room that goes from a small room into a hallway, all the way up into a crawl space. And that's the very top of your range. Now, when I'm asking students to take a siren and siren up through their range with various vowel sounds, I'm asking them to work their way from room 1 to room 2 to room 3, up into the hallway, up into the crawl space, and then back down again from the crawl space into the hallway, into the room, into a bigger room, into the biggest room. And that is more of an idea of the feeling of how notes work from the bottom to the top of your range. Oh, I'm in my room number 1. And, oh, I'm in my mix, and I'm in room number 2. Oh, all the way up into the crawl space and back down again. And the reason why I like to use that metaphor is because you cannot do in the crawl space, to sing that high note, what it is that you do down in your chest voice or in the big room. You can't bring the size of the big room up to that very small place in your range. But that's the way people jam up. That's the way they get stuck. in a sense, metaphorically here, they get stuck in one of the rooms because they're doing too much of what's required for that particular part of the voice, and they're staying there in that physical feeling and not coordinating the change that needs to be made as you go up and down in your range. Now, the understanding of being able to do that in a physical way is what the study of voice in relationship to technique, for me, is all about. And there's a marriage of the art to the technique. Thought colors the tone, your emotion. Always, when it gets to be talking about the song, what is it about the song? Any style of music, it doesn't matter if it's jazz, rock, blues, classical, musical theater, it doesn't matter. When it comes to the song, a song is telling a story. You're a storyteller. You have to tell the story the way a really good storyteller tells the story. If you do that, you're accomplishing what you need to accomplish as a storyteller and a communicator with the song. But you need a great technique to allow you to be free to go from one part of your voice to another as you're telling that story. So there's the art of emotional delivery and your own thought process. Again, thought coloring the tone, how you feel and how you're emoting your emotions into the story. There's that part of it. And then there's having a great technique that allows you to do this and keep you in tune, make all of the notes. People just don't always sing out of tune because they don't hear the notes right sometimes. But sometimes they sing out of tune. Quite often they sing out of tune because they're not able to navigate from one room to the other the correct way. They get stuck, they get jammed up, the muscles start to work against each other, and the moment that happens, you start singing out of tune and struggling. So, what's the tip? Well, first of all, the tip is understand that as you're going from one part of your voice to another, that it does shift and change in size and weight. And as you're focusing this air up through, how would you do that? And the answer is different vowel sounds will help you do different things with the size of the rooms, meaning that you can get a vowel sound that's very narrow, like take an oo vowel sound with oo lips. And if you go ooh, and you don't build too much pressure as you're navigating, ooh, I'm in my chest voice. Now, if I got stuck, like a lot of students do, here's what would happen. I'd stay in the weight of this voice. I go, ooh, boom, things grab, things go wrong. I didn't release into the next part of my range where you have to release the pressure of chest voice so you'll grab onto the connection of your mix. So, oh, the way that feels, oh, I'm nice and connected. Now still, that's a different weight. That's room 2. If I don't make the right adjustment from there, I'm still going to pop and break or pull too much weight and struggle. So I have to release again up into the next area of my range. So again, chest, oh, up in the mix, oh, from my mix, oh, still in mix, oh, still in mix. But now I could pull mix up higher, but that's another topic for another day. But if I just take comfortably from that place, see, no strain, no struggle, because each one of those rooms I know very well. But I used an oo vowel sound, and I understand that I have to feel how the air pressure feels. Ooh, that's very light. Ooh, with not too much compression in the chords up in my head voice. How would I make that? How would I bring a little more resonance into that sound? I have to change the air pressure, and I have to create compression. Creating compression is the ability to push the chords in from the sides. Now, pushing the chords in from the sides requires choices of vowel sounds. So here's how it works. Some vowel sounds open the voice up very wide, and they're good for study down in your chest voice, or they're good for study for people who are singing too light, even when they're adjusting up through their different registers. You pick vowel sounds that are more open. Now, for those that are carrying too much weight, which more often than not is the problem in the beginning, for those that are carrying too much weight and trying to pull too much power up, you have to get away from those wide vowel sounds, O's and Ahs and so forth, and go to more narrow oohs, coos, cuckoo, coo, 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 coo. Yeah, I know you probably, if I were you out there, I'd go, he is cuckoo. But that coo sound will help you engage, pull the chords together more for compression on the sides, and also keep it narrow with the oo vowel sound so you can navigate up into that feeling of mix and get a lot better feeling of what mix feels like. And at the same time create compression from the sides. So, what the study of voice is the ability to understand how to navigate from the largest part of your voice where the vocal cords can handle the greatest amount of pressure through passageways to other places where it can't handle as much pressure but has to disengage so you won't create too much pressure, and go to that part of the voice with a more narrow sound. Higher up you get, the more narrow you need to become. And the other thing, simultaneously, you need to learn how to create compression for resonance in your tone. So the tip of the day is, if you're too quiet and too weak and need to strengthen your voice a little bit, work with some open vowel sounds. If you're having trouble navigating through your range, use narrow vowel sounds. If you want to bring more resonance into your tone, take K's or nays or even E's. Key, key, key. He. Those sounds pull the chords, push the chords from the sides together, creating more compression, which adds more resonance to your tone. And you can practice any combination of vocal exercises. Now, one last thing to say about any of this. The red flag is always, if it hurts, if it doesn't feel right, it's not right. So your number one guide is, that was easy to do, that felt comfortable to do, I'm not hoarse, or it's not causing any problems in my voice, and I'm walking away from this feeling like I exercised, but not like you have a sore throat or something that you've done that feels detrimental. Those are red flags. So use these ideas, and best thing you can do is use the right exercises. And where are you going to find the right exercises? Of course, right here on totallyvocals.com with all the various exercises and courses that we have here. And if you're on YouTube and you're watching this, I hope that helps you. Come on over and sign up for the free membership. Check out the site. There's so much information here. Courses from beginning, intermediate, advanced. Courses that teach you how to develop vibrato. Ear training courses, harmony singing courses, and all kinds of songs and song breakdowns for male and female voices. Anything that you need to advance your voice in whatever style, there's something here on Totally Vocals for you. So come check it out. totallyvocals.com. See you next week.